Okay. So if you look here, oh my God. एक मैं इसको एडमिट कर दूं. So this is the hidden layer. This hidden layer is injected here between these two layers. कोई रह गए? सब आ गए? So when we add the or inject the hidden layer, we need, because these inputs are connected with the hidden layer, there may be several hidden layers definitely, and to output we need some back propagation. So back propagation is basically algorithm that generalize the model that used for the generalization, so that propagate back from the backward, from output to input, that is there any problem, is there any bias values, is there any extra value. So it checks a whole, this algorithm checks a whole, the when we train the neural networks with the hidden layer, or when we inject the hidden layer, then we need the back propagation. Again, if you look here, this is the graphical way of the what the neural network model, and these inputs are connected with these hidden layer, and this hidden layer is connected with the output. And this is a very complex neural network. If you look here, it's a very complex neural network, and mostly neural networks are complex. Now look here, this is the input layer. This input layer is connected with this hidden layer. This hidden layer again connected with this hidden layer, and this hidden layer is connected with this hidden layer, and this is the output. So graphically, the way you might think about this is that we first start with the output in the back propagation. What will we do? So someone asked me, sir, back propagation. So listen. So in back propagation, what we do, we start from the output because we propagate back, and we know what the output should be. For example, you are inputting some data, so probably you confident that this should be the output. So we know what the output should be, so, because we calculated, and based on that, we can figure out that how do we need to update those weights. So big propagation and the error to these nodes, that where is their error, why results come as a not according to our calculation. So because there may be the problems in these layers, so big propagation check those error, that where it is, and using that we can figure out how we should update these weights, because all of the weights that we saw before. And you might imagine if there are multiple layers, like here, if you look here, there are multiple layers, and we could repeat this process again and again to begin to figure out how all of these weights should be updated. And this, if you look here, the big propagation algorithm is basically key algorithm that makes neural networks possible, and makes it possible to take these multiple level structures, and be able to train those structures depending on what the values of these weights are, to figure out how it is that we should go about updating those weights to create some function that can minimize the total amount of loss, to figure out some good setting of the weights that will take the inputs and translate it into the output that we expect definitely. So because data comes from here, input layer, and it comes through a hidden layer to the output. Now, big propagation takes output layer, and then this layer, then this layer, then this layer, and then input, and then definitely it will give you results. So it checks the errors and losses. That's why it's very important in the neural network. And so, as we said, not just for a single hidden layer, but you can imagine multiple hidden layers, where each hidden layer we just defined however many nodes we want, definitely. So where each of the nodes, these are the nodes. If you look here, in one layer, there are three nodes in this layer, and four layers in this, and four in this, and again three and one. So we can connect the nodes in the next definitely layer. For example, this layer is connected with this layer, and this layer is connected through this edges to this layer, and this layer is connected through these edges, and output is again through these edges. So means defining more and more complex networks that can model more and more complex types of the functions, if you look here. So this type of neural network is what we might call it, means this one. This is basically the deep neural network, a part of a larger family of deep learning. So that is basically their deep learning, where the multiple layers of the nodes are there. So, so if you have ever heard that term, the deep learning, or the, but you have learned and you are working on, and all deep learning is about is it's using multiple layers to be able to predict and be able to model higher level features inside of the input. So to be able to figure out what the output should be in this. So like if you look here, this is the complex, this is a deep neural network model. If you look here, it's a deep neural network model. So the deep neural network model is just a neural network that has a multiple of these hidden layers. And then this layer, and then ultimately we get the output here, if you look here. So this allows us to be able to model more and more sophisticated types of functions. It depends on you that how many hidden layer you injected in your model. It depends on you. When you design the model, it will be asked to you, or you as a programmer, as a data analyst, you will have to write the number of hidden layer. आपको ये बताना होगा कि आपको कितने hidden layers चाहिए. जितने hidden layers ज़्यादा होंगे, definitely result भी उतनी अच्छी आएगी. So each of these layers can calculate something a little bit different, and we can combine that information to figure out what the output should be. So overfitting पे हमने डिस्कस किया था लास्ट लेक्चर में, so we will not go in the detail. If you are interested, you may again watch the lecture on machine learning, supervised learning. We have discussed a lot on the overfitting. Of course, as with any situation of the machine learning, as we begin to make our models more and more complex, to model more and more complex functions, the risk we run is something like the overfitting. So one of the risk we run with the far more complex neural network that has many different nodes is that we might overfit based on the input data. What we have inputted the data, overfit will measure the loss. So we might go over reliant one certain nodes to calculate things just purely based on the input data that doesn't. Yes, Sayyid Hamza Jamil.
सर अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर.
वालेकुम.
सर अभी थोड़ी देर पहले सर हम हिडन लेयर को डिस्कस कर रहे थे. सर अगर हम अपने डीप न्यूरल नेटवर्क से अगर विदाउट हिडन लेयर के मॉडल बनाते हैं और एक मॉडल हम बनाते हैं हिडन लेयर के साथ, तो सर इन दोनों में से कौन सा बेटर वर्क करेगा?
देखें, अगर आप हिडन लेयर नहीं देंगे तो आपका वो तो डायरेक्ट आउटपुट ही हो जाएगा. जो आपने इनपुट का वो आउटपुट आ जाएगा, उस पर वो प्रोसेस. हिडन लेयर में ये हम करते हैं कि वो डेटा बार बार चेक होती है कि कहीं वो ओवरफिटिंग का मसला तो नहीं है, यहाँ उसका वेट इम्प्रॉपर तो नहीं है, इसमें बायसेस तो नहीं है, इस डेटा तो नहीं है. तो हिडन लेयर ये है कि उसको क्लियरिफाई करता है. मतलब आप फिल्टर करते हैं चीजों को, तो हिडन लेयर बेसिकली फिल्टर द डेटा. आप अगर कोई चीज आपके पास पानी है, आप पानी को फिल्टर ना करें, डायरेक्ट पिए, तो डेफिनेटली द रिजल्ट विल नॉट बी गुड. बट व्हेन विल यू फिल्टर द वाटर, definitely it will be more fresh. So this is the function of the hidden layer. If in the deep learning without hidden layer, अगर आपका कोई भी मॉडल है, that will not give you the proper result. But if you inject the hidden layer or insert the hidden layer, it will give you the more proper result. क्योंकि वो फिल्टर होता जाएगा, जितने भी उसमें एरर्स होंगे वो फिल्टर होते जाएंगे. देन जो बेक प्रोपगेशन है, अगेन वो उसको फिल्टर कर देगी एंड आपका आउटपुट आइडियल होगा. ओके
जी सर. सर अच्छा एक सवाल सर और था.
जी
सवाल है सर कि डीप लर्निंग का सर हमें फिर ये फायदा हो जाता है कि हिडन लेयर की मदद से हमें अलग से मॉडल नहीं लगाना पड़ता ओवर फिटिंग के लिए. सर ऐसा ही है?
हाँ ऐसे ही है कि वो सारी चीजें उनमें हो जाती हैं. मगर
क्योंकि
हम
सर
उनको
लास्ट टाइम आपने जब पढ़ाया था लीनियर रिग्रेशन, तो आप कह रहे
हम
थे सर
उनको
उसमें हम मॉडल लगाएंगे अलग से ओवर फिटिंग.
वो मशीन लर्निंग के लिए सुपरवाइज लर्निंग में मैंने आपको बताया था. ये आज मैं डीप लर्निंग में बता रहा हूँ. मगर हमें ये है कि ये डिफाइन करना है, अपने लेयर्स को डिफाइन करना है, एक्टिवेशन लेयर को डिफाइन करना है, हमें अपने मॉडल में डिफाइन करना है कि एक्टिवेशन लेयर हमें कौन सा चाहिए.
ठीक सर.
ये सारे हमें डिफाइन करने हैं. बट इनका फायदा ये है कि डेटा हमें प्योर मिल जाती है.
सर डीप लर्निंग सुपरवाइज में आती है, अनसुपरवाइज लर्निंग में आती है सर हमारे पास?
ये सुपरवाइज्ड है. मगर देखें डीप लर्निंग डिफरेंट है. हम इसको सुपरवाइज्ड और अनसुपरवाइज्ड के चक्कर में नहीं लाते हैं, वो तो मशीन लर्निंग है. इसमें आपकी जो भी डेटा है हमें वो लेयर के थ्रू. मगर सुपरवाइज्ड में इसलिए मैंने कहा कि हम क्लास आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं. हम क्लास को तो आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं ना कि भाई ये क्लासेस हैं हमारे, जो हम ट्रेनिंग कराते हैं डेटा. जब मॉडल को हम ट्रेनिंग कराते हैं तो हमें क्लास आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं. दैट्स व्हाई आई टोल्ड यू कि भाई ये सुपरवाइज्ड.
ठीक है.
ओके. सो
जी सर.
Okay. Just question. So, and there are several strategies of dealing with overfitting, but one of the most popular in the context of neural network is a technique known as a dropout. So, temporarily removing units, na? जितने भी selected a random from a neural network to prevent over reliance on certain units. And what dropout does is when we are training the neural network, what we will do in dropout is temporarily remove units, temporarily remove these artificial neurons from a network, choosing at random. And the goal there is to prevent over reliance on certain units. So what generally happens in overfitting is that we begin to over-rely on certain units inside the neural network to be able to tell us how to interpret the input data. So what dropout will do is randomly remove some of these units to reduce the chance that we over-rely on certain units to make our neural network more robust, to be able to handle the situations even when we just drop out particular neural network. So this is the basically function of the dropout when we model the neural network. So then we define the dropout model that the data result may be proper and we cannot lose anything. So, for example, if you look here at this neural network model, or the deep neural network model, so the way that might work is we have a network like this. So, and we are training it when we go about trying to update the weights the first time, like here. So, we will just randomly, I'm talking about the dropout. So, we just randomly pick some percentage of the nodes to drop out of the network. Like if you look here, this one and this portions are drop out. And it says if those nodes aren't there, are not there at all. So it's as if the weights associated with those nodes are not there at all. And we will train in this way like this one. We will train the model. So then the next time we update the weights as well. We will pick a different set and just go ahead and train that way. Like this one, we will train the model and then again randomly choose and train with other nodes that have been dropped. That is well, and the goal of that is that after the training process, if you train by dropping out random nodes inside of this neural network, so means if you look here, it is the complete model after the training. When we process it, it is the complete neural network model. What we randomly drop out, again, these are inserted after the training and we will get the proper result. So definitely the best platform for the neural network or deep learning is the TensorFlow. TensorFlow is a Google application. Google has developed the TensorFlow uh, to provide the what facilities platform to the data analyst programmers to perform the deep learning. So we will discuss the deep learning model. आप लोगों को उम्मीद है कि समझ में आएगा. So is there any question? Hello. Hello. आप लोगों का आवाज आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
It was about deep learning, and we discussed different models. कोई क्वेश्चन है तो पूछ लें। अच्छा, मैं अभी एक असाइनमेंट आप लोग।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
वालेकुम।
सर ये पूछना था कि ये बैक प्रोपगेशन में, सर ये बैक प्रोपगेशन में सर इनपुट लेयर एक ही होगी और आउटपुट लेयर भी एक होगी।
हाँ,
तो सर इसके जो बीच में हिडन लेयर्स वो बहुत ज्यादा हो सकती है।
बिल्कुल बहुत
ये
ज्यादा।
जो 2-3 यानी कि आउटपुट और इनपुट सिर्फ एक ही होनी चाहिए।
देखिए ना, इनपुट तो आपका एक ही होगा। अब उस इनपुट में आपके कितने भी क्लासेस हों, यू हैव टू डिफाइन द क्लासेस एंड डेफिनेटली आउटपुट उन पे होगा। बीच में आप 8 हिडन लेयर दे रहे हैं, 5 दे रहे हैं, 10 दे रहे हैं, 2 दे रहे हैं, इट डिपेंड का आपका डेटा सेट कितना ह्यूज है, आपकी डेटा कितनी बड़ी है, उस बेस पे आप उनको जो है हिडन लेयर देंगे। अब फिर बैक प्रोपगेशन उनकी होगी।
सही।
अच्छा, मैं अभी आपको आजकल एक असाइनमेंट भेजूंगा, तो वो कर लीजिएगा, उस पे व्हाट्सएप पे ही भेजूंगा, ठीक है। अदरवाइज आपके मेट के पेपर तो अच्छे हुए हैं, तो इंशाल्लाह 24 जुलाई तक हमें पूरा करना है और असाइनमेंट्स भी करते जाएं ताकि हम फाइनली इसको जुलाई में पूरा करें। इंशाल्लाह आपका ये सेमेस्टर हो जाएगा। आप अपने प्रोजेक्ट्स पे काम करें, वो मेरे लिए थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है, आप प्रोजेक्ट्स पे काम करें, ठीक है।